Welcome everybody. It's so great to see you again, and it's wonderful to be back on stage. The last time we were here was in 2018, where we announced Patch Tarot 2 and many significant changes to the cards, including redesigned borders that moved like a flipbook, the shift from the Fool to the Child, and we even increased the image quality of the cards from 300 to 1200 DPI. But these updates were still only the beginning for what was possible with Patch Tarot. And let me tell you now, we were only just getting started. It can be said that over the last 6 years, every soul on this planet has personally been evolving. We have each gone through trials and tribulations, had successes along the way, and learned new things about ourselves. It's probably fair to say that none of us are the same person that we were 6 years ago, maybe some a lot more than others. Life is a journey of progressively transforming and evolving, moving closer towards higher understanding and shifting our consciousness from matter focus into energy, even if along the way we falter and move away from that intrinsic inner nature too. That's a part of life also. Since ages past, tarot has been a very powerful resource for self-reflection and personal development, and this has always been true. With every new deck that is created, artists will imbue their designs with their understanding, fusing their ideas with ancient symbolism and meaning. But most decks, once produced, do become static and unchanging. Artists can draw new versions of traditional tarot decks or completely redesign their cards, but the cards themselves don't usually see updates like we do with all other technologies, like phones or computers, or even things like new seasons of TV shows. But Patch Tarot is different. This is a living resource that reflects our understanding and place in personal and collective evolution. It is not a static tool, but a living one that will continue with updates until at last the great masterwork is complete. Today, you're about to get a first-hand look at what's new under the hood for Patch Tarot 3. This deck features upgrades on both physical and metaphysical levels. The cards themselves are deeply refined, and almost every single card will feature a change, some subtle and others massive. Some have even been completely redesigned. Now, first and foremost, in Patch Tarot 2, we announced that we had moved away from the card titled the Fool and transformed him into the Child, reflecting that we are all children of God on a personal spiritual journey. The number of the Child also reflected a major shift in consciousness, which merged the numbers 0 and 1 together, creating the symbol of Phi. This is, of course, the symbol of the golden mean ratio, which carries with it the idea of the innate perfection of the human soul, which is why it's called the divine spiral. But with Patch Tarot 3, we are called to recognize an even greater inner depth of our body of consciousness, that we are both children of God and, as humans, sometimes fumbling along in the dark, in ignorance, we are sometimes fools all the same. The Fool is a classic archetype of tarot and can represent both the folly of mortal being and innocence of the soul and spirit. But it is through our ignorance that we create karma that we must reconcile in life. The tarot gives us an opportunity to reflect on this. And so while we are still keeping the Child, who reminds us of the purity and perfection of the soul inside, we have also reintroduced the Fool in an entirely new way. Seeing as the Child draws upon the symbolism from the Rider-Waite Tarot, the Fool has been depicted using the symbolism found in Thoth Tarot, though with some special added pieces from our own hearts and experience. Now, speaking of Thoth Tarot, one of the two most prominent decks in tarot history, in its original publication, it had an esoteric secret depicted through 3 magician cards. These held a riddle having to do with the power of creation that we all have between mind, body, and spirit. Many people didn't realize it, but you could stack the cards vertically and they actually fit together, which you can see by the vertical tube running from the top of the material body magician all the way to the bottom of the astral magi creator. Today, Thoth Tarot has discontinued all publications featuring the 3 magi. But for me, since the inception of Patch Tarot, I wanted to see these symbols and characters depicted. But in Patch Tarot 1 and 2, this did not flow naturally. And that all changes today. Patch Tarot now will come with 3 magicians who will all be numbered and astrally associated identically, though will feature 3 different names. Instead of all 3 being the magician, we also have the alchemist, the one who is skilled in the material arts of creation and sees how energies fit together both in the body and in the world. Then we have the magician, the classic magi who you know, who creates from mental power and heightened states of inner consciousness. And finally, the mystic, the one who has fully integrated spirit, body, and mind together into a unified whole, and who, by his nature, creates entirely from within on the quantum or causal planes, and who is able to steer and shape the fabric of reality through pure consciousness. Each one of these cards, in addition to their potent symbolism, will come with thorough explanations in the brand new edition of the Book of Patch, and provide teachings and supportive resources on how to access these masterful states within us. But in addition to these new cards, you'll also find many other changes throughout the deck as well. For instance, the Priestess has also been revised to bring her more in tune with the symbolism of the prominent existing imageries present in other mainstream decks. She now features a head covering, a scroll, the moon, a pomegranate, and the cross on her chest, each of which are symbolically linked to her mystical nature and how she draws upon cosmic forces to access her potent intuition. Some cards only feature a single change, but everyone who recognizes those changes will see their meaning magnified a great deal. Other cards will also feature small, subtle Easter eggs. For instance, you might find a familiar one ring in the hand of the devil. This card invites us to watch out for our temptations because they might just get the better of us and lead us down the path we don't want to go. Others who are familiar with past editions of Patch Tarot might also notice that the Hermit, having been unmoved in meditation for all these years, does keep aging also. His beard keeps getting longer. This will probably keep happening for every successive edition of Patch Tarot. As mentioned, some cards have also been entirely redrawn, but still carry the same energy, though with more dynamic symbols. We can see this through Vitality, also commonly known as Strength, as well as the 4 Princes. On top of that, the new card back is, for the first time ever, fully reversible. You will not be able to tell whether or not a card will be drawn upright or reversed. This has been a major request over the past few years, and we believe this change will transform your experience using Patch Tarot. We cannot wait for you to discover everything new within these cards, but you'll have to go hunting to experience them all for yourself. For now, let's take a look at what's new with the cards themselves. First, these cards are going to be a little bit bigger than the last edition, but not as overly large like Patch Tarot 1. We found a really happy medium right in the middle that we know you are going to really enjoy and feel great when you use them. The cards are also not going to be coming in a paper tuck box anymore, but a custom and exclusive magnetically latched case. This new box is very durable, so you'll never have to worry about the cards being damaged during travel ever again, and they're going to feel amazing in your hands. But besides that, the biggest and most exciting change to these cards is that for the first time ever, Patch Tarot is going to be holographic. We know that fundamentally, everything is light and energy in the fabric of reality, and the way the holographic is being done will bring more awareness to this concept with every card that you draw. Truly, I think it's safe to say that you've never held or felt a tarot deck quite like this. But yet, even with all of these upgrades, we're still only scratching the surface on everything that's new. We'll probably even have a few more announcements to make before these cards start shipping. And so on that note, Patch Tarot 3 is almost ready to go to the printers, but they are available today with a special pre-order offer. Patch Tarot will be shipping out in the second half of the summer season, and the Book of Patch in the early fall. Use the link in the description of this video to pre-order your own copy of Patch Tarot 3, and get ready. The insights hidden within these cards will take you places you never thought you could go. You have all of our love, and thank you so much for attending our press conference.